Today we'll be revisiting Cal Newport's book Deep Work, which is arguably more relevant today than it was when it was written back in 2016. Why? Because the benefits of deep work have only heightened as our digital landscape has evolved, as working deeply is becoming more rare and, more importantly, more valuable. By the end of this video, you will learn why this approach to work is so important, how you will stand out at your job or with your projects, and how you can integrate a deep work approach into your daily and weekly schedule. Let's get into the video. It may be implicit in the name, but the core idea of the book, Deep Work, is described as activity performed in a state of distraction-free concentration that pushes your cognitive capabilities to their limit. The author, Cal Newport, explains that engaging in deep work offers great benefits, including the creation of new value, improvement of your skills, and that it's hard to replicate. So essentially the main idea is this: deep, focused work is a superpower in the ever-distracted world. If you want to stand out, you need to engage in this practice. So here are the main points contained in this book. The book can be divided into two halves. The first section speaks about why deep work is so valuable. The value, as mentioned earlier in the video, can be found in its rarity and its meaningful impact to the work you are doing. We will get into Newport's rationale on this shortly. The second half of the book speaks to the instruction manual that helps cultivate a deep work habit. This can be observed through 4 rules: working deeply, embracing boredom, quitting or limiting social media, and draining the shallows. We'll get into these rules a little bit more towards the end of the video. Cal Newport has created a simple yet powerful argument for why deep work is so important to your productivity and success. He creates a comparison with a polar opposite definition: shallow work. We understand where Newport is going with his concept of deep work through his examples of shallow work, which include having a large amount of emails to respond to, having an open office environment that you have to work in, and other smaller admin tasks that cumulatively take your time away. Whilst these tasks are needed for the functioning of larger teams, they cause a fragmenting effort that puts a limit of the more important work that truly drives projects and businesses forward. The other form of shallow work is self-induced, and this is having distractions present whilst we are trying to perform at work, study, or learn a new skill. We have an intuitive understanding of this effect. We work much more slowly, learn less efficiently, and get less work done when we interrupt ourselves with notifications, less important work, and other distractions. This fragmented working reality is the case for many of us, and is trending towards more distraction, more shallow work, and less coherent work being done. This is where Newport believes the advantage of deep work can be observed. If more people are distracted, that means fewer people must be producing work at a high level, which will create a greater need for high quality work. This is essentially his perspective. If you routinely manage to stay on more demanding tasks for a long, uninterrupted time, you'll be able to provide value in a way that most others cannot bring. So this leads into the second half of the book, which is dedicated to helping you set up a deep work habit. Newport advocates for a deep work ritual consisting of having a dedicated workspace that is free of distraction. You should have clear start and end times with easy routine behaviors that help you begin transitioning to the deep work state, such as getting your coffee or your relevant work material. Newport is big on creating an environment that is conducive to deep work, and highlights how this is more important in determining your success, rather than depending on willpower or inspiration. This is why he wants you to consider which deep work approach you should use, and which is most relevant to you. Your options are monastic deep work, which is being exclusively in deep work, ridding yourself of all shallow work. Then you have rhythmic deep work, which is deciding on dedicated times of the day to do the deep work. Bimodal deep work, which is deciding on which days or even a week when you are in deep work exclusively. Or a journalistic approach to deep work, which is finding time ad hoc to do deep work for shorter spurts, but this isn't recommended for new deep workers. A major consideration for developing a deep work habit is the likelihood of your deep work capacity to be small in the beginning. Newport points out that the best deep workers can do up to 4 hours, whilst it's more realistic to work for 1 to 2 hours before tiring out in the beginning. In the beginning, therefore, is to work on improving this capacity over time, while still reaping the benefits of implementing the habit. So those are the key points from deep work, which to summarize are: deep work is becoming a more valuable skill as it's becoming rarer, despite the high demand for quality work. Deep work is necessary for skill development, the completing of complex projects, and for increased productivity. We are living in a world that is the most distracted it has ever been, so it is necessary to deliberately implement a strategy that removes this distraction. Deep work is achieved through the cultivation of an environment that is conducive to working efficiently. This can be done by having a dedicated workspace that is free of distraction, scheduling a start and end time for your deep work, and by creating a starting ritual and a shutdown ritual to help your mind move into a deep work state. So there you have it. If you would like to see more summaries of books, techniques, apps, and other tools, please consider subscribing and have a great day.